Hi there, join me for a fun idea on how to transform plain paper into a memory keeping layout using Altenew's ink blending brushes and a few other products. So see you in a bit. Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Today we're going to focus all on transforming paper into a memory keeping layout using the Altenew's ink blending brushes. And the inspiration actually for today is going to come from this card from Laura Jane. It was holiday, it had a wreath, and it had layer wreaths. So I thought it was a good idea for what I have in mind. So we're going to start. I want to start by like plain white paper. This is really heavy cardstock, and it's 12 inches by 8.5 in height. So I put it on my sticky mat to help me to create my background in this case. For this, I'm going to use the large ink blending brush and inks from the Tranquility Fresh Dye Ink set. And the reason that I'm using the large brush, first of all, is because it's going to cover a larger area. And what I want to create is actually kind of create a ombre effect for my background. So I need, first of all, a larger brush. And because the bristles are so soft, it's just going to create the perfect ink blend background. And so you're going to see that I'm starting with the lightest color. In this case is Misty Morning. And I'm just going to cover pretty much, I'm going to say 3/4 of the page with it. I want to create a soft color on the background. So I'm just taking my time and just filling the entire page. And then I'm going to go straight onto Nimbus. I'm going to skip Cloudy Skies, which is the second color, because I want to darken the color at the top of the page a little bit faster. Having the larger brush, it actually helps me to speed up the process. But to make sure, like, you're going to see that I'm going to cover just the top half of the page with Nimbus, making sure that the color is darker at the top and kind of diffusing the color as I go down the page. And that's the beauty of the large brush. It's just gonna allow you to create this color in a faster way because the area that it covers is bigger. Just to make sure that the colors all tie together, I'm going to come with a little bit of Cloudy Sky and just apply it to the center just to make sure that there's a nice diffusion of color between Nimbus and the lightest color. Now the part that I forgot to film is what's coming up next. I'm going to use the grid stencil and my mini ink blend, my small ink blending brushes to create my background. I wanted something with a little bit of interest on the background, and for that I use Nimbus, the same colors. I'm staying with the blue, and once I had that, I just added a little bit of water to kind of create a little bit of distress on the background. So I set that aside to dry, and like I said, I apologize for not recording. I thought it was, but I didn't. So while that's drying, I went ahead and used the Mistletoe Wreath and my my Stampwheel tool to create 4 wreaths. Here's where we're gonna go and start like detailing this using the Mistletoe Wreath stencil, and I'm going to use my micro ink blending brushes just because they have such a small area that is perfect for those little berries. And I'm using colors from the Blushberry Feels ink set for this. And then once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and start detailing the leaves. For this, I am using the detailing ink blending brushes. I'm going to use the number 5, that's angle, just because it's so small that it's going to get into all those little crevices in the stem of this wreath. Once I have my base of the wreath or the stems of the wreath, I'm going to continue working with the stencil, and I'm going to bring actually my mini ink blending brushes. And these brushes are great because they are still small. They're going to help you still give you some more interest and help you detail smaller areas. But in this case, because the leaves are a little bit bigger, it's just I have the beauty of using the brush and covering the area a little bit faster. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna actually use the same brush in a darker color just to accent the areas where the leaves are attached to the stem that I created with the darker color. The colors that I'm using for the leaves and for like the stem of the wreath are actually colors from the Jade Dreams Fresh Dye Ink set. So I'm using all the colors for this pistachio and starting with pistachio and finishing with the dark green. Once I have them for all 4 of them, I'm going to take the die that coordinates and cut them all. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use the 3D embossing folder to actually just create some extra dimension onto just one of the wreaths. So I'm gonna take the one that I've already stamped and a stencil and just place it on my 3D embossing folder, making sure it fits right on the area. It actually matches the design, and I'm gonna put it through my die cutting machine, and I just want one that has texture to add my title. I just want it to be the focal point on the area. Once you're gonna see it on my layout, it's not that noticeable, so it's just, you know, it's just gonna help a little bit. Now what I want to do is I created my background. Everything I'm using is from scratch, so I don't want to have the centers of my wreaths. I didn't want to have them white, and I also don't want to have them empty. So my best choice is I'm going to cover the back my wreaths, in this case, using vellum. I love the fact that it creates a little bit of separation, but it's the transparency of the vellum. It just helps with like not hiding my background. So you're gonna see I have my background. Like I said, I'm sorry that I filmed the second part where I actually created that grid look on the background. It's my apologies. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use all those wreaths that I created to have the idea of them hanging off the page, and that came from the card that I saw from Laura Jane. She had like wreaths that were layered on top of each other, so I thought maybe I can use them to create this idea as if the wreaths are hanging on my page. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna set them in place. I want them to be coming off the page, and I'm gonna take advantage of those pieces that are gonna be outside of the page to help me kind of cluster them together. So I set one in place. I'm just tying a little bit of shimmery thread just to make sure that I can create, like, you know, think of it as the bow that's keeping it to the wall, in this case, or to my paper. And I'm just gonna cut the excess, and you're gonna see that I just layer them. I've used the one that I create that I embossed. It's going to be the one that is fully on my page, and that's the one that's going to have the title. And what I'm doing with the leftover piece that I cut from the other one is I'm going to help me create that cluster on the right hand side of the page, and I'm making sure that I put my picture, so I place my wreaths accordingly. I created 4 wreaths, so I know that I have an extra one, and that one is the one that I'm going to use to kind of tie the two sides together. And because I only have 1 wreath left, I want to make sure that just pieces of it show up. So I'm going to place the wreath in the junction of the papers and the top edge of my layout. So once I glue it in place, I'm going to bring my comfy cut and just cut through the edges of my papers, just to make sure that I have that clean cut and that I have like a piece left over that I can use. And then the leftover piece, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna help it to create kind of a cluster at the very top of my layout, so that it seems I'm kind of creating a zigzag of wreaths at the top of my page, and that's gonna help with my design too. Once I have that, I am pretty much done. All I need is a title, so I'm using the little banner that comes in the Mistletoe Wreath set to create my title. And you're gonna see that I actually cut 4 of them. I'm gluing 2 of them together, and I'm gonna put it on top of the wreath that I added the 3D embossing to it, and it's gonna read work day. This is day 20 of my my December journal. So I put 20 on the wreath that I trim on the left hand side of the page, and then I'm gonna use the other 2 banners that I created. I'm gonna glue them together. I'm gonna use one of the sentiment from the stamp set just to add a little sentiment on top of the picture, and then I just added a few enamels from the Sandy Rose enamel dot set. Once I have that, I'm just gonna add my lines of journal. I'm gonna do that outside of the camera, but that's about it. Like I said, my apologies for not filming the part where I stencil the background, but it was super simple, and I love how this turned out. And it's like pretty simple. I started with plain white cardstock, ink blending brushes, some ink, and a good stamp set. And I hope you actually enjoy this and it gives you some inspiration for your next project. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.